Hi guys, welcome back. So in today's video I'm doing a bit of an experiment. I'm going to set up a little, just setting up a little cap around the sides for me soil. I'm going to date this tank and then I'm going to add some plants to it. I've never tried this method before, I've never tried this plant. I was researching and found the plant and I thought, you know what, I really want to have a go at growing that. So I thought and I've never tried this method. So I thought, you know what, I'll set a tank up with soil and I'll have a go. Now I like using soil. I've never been a fan of aqua soil. I came from a period of time where aqua soil wasn't really a big thing. Most people are either using dirt or something inert, or they were using cat litter so most people who wanted nutrients in the base were either using a type of soil or they were using some sort of clay like cat litter. And I've just kind of stuck with what worked for me, you know, so this is my go-to. It always seems to be the go-to. Like I say, I always think, should I keep sand? And then I think, well, nothing in it, doesn't do nothing, it just compacts. There's no nutrients in it. And then I always think, well, what about using gravel? There we go. I'm putting me 50 pence worth of soil in here, and I can just break tanks up and down as many times as I want, set them up, break them down, and it doesn't cost me an absolute fortune. You know, aqua soil costs 10 times as much as this, so I can't just keep farming plants for the fun of it if I'm using like 20 quid's worth of aqua soil or something every time I do it. So anyway, rant over, moaning. I know we'll get people in the comment section having digs at soil, but you know, it's just virtue signaling, isn't it? You want the best of everything, when now and again the cheapest option, Occam's razor, is usually the best one. So I'm going to get my cap on so the soil sealed. And if I'm honest, right, I know I talk about the Walstad method all the time, but you know, the Walstad method was written in a period of time, it's like 1999, before the likes of Tom Barr had come up with the EI method. People were messing around trying to figure out how to fertilise properly, and there was no really established method of fertilising plants. And I think to myself, nowadays, you know, we've had the estimative index where we're making fertiliser with our chemistry sets, and now all-in-one fertilisers exist. So sometimes I think to myself, is the Walstad method, where you're indirectly fertilising, the best strategy? And if I'm honest, I don't really, I'm starting to think it'd probably just be simpler. Here we go, here's the Hygrophilia fine black gravel. I love this gravel. But anyway, what I'm saying is, would it just be easy to just do like 50% weekly water change and dose with some all-in-one fertilisers? It probably would be in most situations, you know. And I might start doing that a bit more. And then here's my other Walstad. I set up with me dwarf sedge to farm dwarf sedge, and then planted up with crips, because crips are the best plant in the world. Talking about plants, here's a plant order I got. Now check this out, guys. As you can see, I've already opened it and removed the labels, but look at this. It's supposed to be Amazon frog bits. I've never seen anything, none of my Amazon frog bits ever looked at like that. That looks more like pan-fried spinach with some chow mein thrown in. I don't know what the bloody hell it's supposed to be. If anyone knows what plant that is, or if it is, but my frog bits never grown like that. And then I got this plant. I'm not even mentioning the name of the company, because like, that's embarrassing. Look at the state of that. And then here's the two plants I got. At the back I've got Hygrophilia, polysperma. Half the leaves it looks like it's partially transitioned, and that's what they've sent me. And then this one is Lileopsis brasiliensis, and I've had to edit this so many times because I keep saying Lileopsis brasiliensis and I don't know why. But anyway, that's a thing. I thought I'd let you know a thing. So now you know a thing that's like really uninterested and everyone's clicking away. So anyway, I wanted to try this Lileopsis brasiliensis, but apparently if you grow it low tech, it won't carpet, it just gets leggy, unless you try the dry start method. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to try the dry start method. I've never tried it before, and it'll probably go P-tong. So what I probably needed was plants that were in peak condition, and what I never got was plants that were in peak condition. They're like halfway through transitioning by the looks of it, and then they've sent me these plants that have been grown immersed and then transitioned underwater, and my fat head keeps getting in the way of the bleeding camera. And I knew where the camera was, so I don't know why I was doing it, but I was that concentrating on getting the plants in. I think I was a bit stressed actually, trying to, because the plants were kind of half transitioned, and I was like, do I wet them, don't I wet them, what do I do? But as I say, that Hygrophilia polysperma looks like it's been half transitioned, and some of it looks quite dried out. So anyway, as anyone knows, I'm not the biggest fan of stem plants. I don't mind Hygrophilia, polysperma, don't mind Hygrophilias, don't mind Ritalas, don't mind Ludwigias, like Repens, Palustras. But look at the state of this. Like, it's all dried out. It's just like a dry stem. But in general, stem plants tend to piss me off because they just want to run to the surface, break the surface, and get out and get some of that CO2, don't they? But anyway, swiftly moving on. I'm getting the Hygrophilia polysperma planted up. I've got the Lileopsis brasiliensis planted up, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let them with the roots in the wet soil, and then I'm going to let the so now I've set the substrate up, I've wet it all, I'm planting the plants, and my goal is to just let the plants grow. I'm not going to fill the tank up with water, I'm just going to let the plants grow as they are now. I'm just going to spritz them once a day and just put cling film over the top, and then so it keeps up the humidity in the tank. And then every day, here we go, there's Keep Secret sauce. I'm going to spritz them with this once a day, and then the instructions say don't let the water bead and drip off, but just one spray does that. So I don't know if I'm supposed to get any less in there. That's like, apparently the minimum I can do is too much. But anyway, I'm trying my best to have a go with this method. Like, it sounds really interesting because apparently Lileopsis in low tech, it won't carpet, it just gets leggy and grows out. So I'm trying this method. I want to get it to carpet in and let the Hygrophilia kind of branch out at the back, and then I'm in no rush. As long as the dry start method is working for me, I'm just going to keep going as long as it takes to carpet the whole tank, with the Lileopsis in the front and the Hygrophilia polysperma at the back. I just want to let them grow out, and that, to me, that's fun. Like, I'll really enjoy that. And as long as, apparently you can get like mold growing in the tank and stuff if you get it wrong, so I'm gonna have to be careful for that and try and figure out how to do it without getting these problems. But no, my luck, it's the first go, I'll probably end up with all these issues and having to shut the tank down, but hopefully it works, because it'll be cool to transition it all and let it all carpet and then fill the tank up, and then it'll probably all melt back and then it'll grow, but the whole root structure will be there then, so there's no big worry about the roots. So here I am, getting my cling film on. Watch how cool I am at cling film. This is like dun dun dun. I'm being judged by the 4 viewers I've got. So this is what the tank looked like at the end of day one. This is the day I set it up. This is what it looked like, and then I'll give you a few updates on what it looks like day by day as we continue. So here we go, we're on to day 2, and I'm spraying it with my secret sauce. It's just water, but yeah, this is day 2. I don't know if it's just me, but the plants look like they've perked up a little bit. I'm hoping they do, but see what you think, let me know. And this was day 3. It looks like there's some cool condensation going on the glass, so I'm hoping that's a good sign. But I'm looking at the plants, and you probably can't see very well back with the secret sauce. Just little spritzers. I think the trick is to keep the bottle full, and then you can spray it a bit better. I think 90% of the spraying I'm doing, nothing comes out, but just a quick little spritz just to wet the leaves, and then the water goes away. But it's hard to see. So, but this is what we're looking at now. The plants didn't come great, did they? We've seen them, they didn't come great, but I'm starting to see a bit more green in them, maybe, I don't know. But we'll keep an eye out on them and keep it informed on the updates. Right, here we go then. This is day 4. It's the final day before I post a video. I can't record any more videos because I'm posting it today. So, first of all, I've seen the Walstad. Notice the way there's like tannins. It's not, like, I wouldn't define it as looking like tannins. It seems to be a lighter colour. I've noticed running a filter with soil in a shallow tanks created this, like, I'm doing constant water changes and it's not clearing up. So, that's one of the downsides of keeping dirt in the filter. I think it seems to pull all the nutrients maybe out the tank more, but I don't know. Anyway, I've been doing plenty of water changes on it, so pulling all that excess out. But let's get back to this. Whew. Yeah, so I'm not seeing any like significant growth in these plants, but you know, the theory is it takes about 2-3 weeks for them to bed in, grow roots, and then they'll start pushing a bit of growth. I've done a massive water change on this while we wait to try and get rid of some of the tannins in the water, and then I've upped the air on it because it's just a trickle, and I want to get some good circulation in there to make sure the soil's getting oxygenated, the bacteria is doing its job, because oxygen can massively dip while the bacteria is breaking down all the fresh soil and mineralizing it into an aquatic sediment. So I'm conscious of that, and then if I'm smashing more oxygen in there and there's more bacterial activity, there's more CO2 coming out, so it's a win-win for everyone. And then obviously you've seen me give this a spray. This is day 4, this is the last day. I'm gonna update on it for now. Let me know in the comment section, guys, if you want me to keep updating in my upcoming videos. I'm not too sure whether this is something people will be interested in, but the goal is for this, let all the Lileopsis carpet right round, and then hopefully all the Hygrophilia at the back will have grown like into a big load of stems, and then once I flood it, it'll probably all melt back, but all the roots will still be there, so then it'll all just grow back, transition to underwater growth. That's the plan. Whether it works or not, like I say, I'm not pretending that this is something I've done before. Like I see a lot of YouTubers doing this. They do stuff they've never done before and then talk as if they're like an experienced person on that topic. Now, I can't do that to you. I couldn't pretend I've ever done this before, because the whole point is experimenting, isn't it? And a lot of the YouTubers I watch, that like the reason why I enjoy them is because they're experimenting with stuff they've never tried, and that's my goal with this. I want to try it, and if it fails, I've learned something which I can avoid next time, hopefully. And then if it fails again, I'll have learned something else, and eventually, if I learn all the failure points in the system, then eventually I'll have success and I'll understand why it's successful, and then I'll be able to explain to people how to be successful. And that's my goal. You know, everyone's got nuggets of gold, haven't they? Nuggets of information. There you go, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video on me setting up a dry start, potentially Walstad method aquarium. Obviously, like I say, I just enjoy growing plants, and that's my goal, and I want to see how this does. So take care, guys. See you soon.